All right, Top Billin, I know the routine. If they lose, you don't watch. But hey, listen, I can't cheat myself, and I can't cheat my real football head fans out there, so I'll still continue to give these Johns post-game for my people, all right? Now, listen, this game was weird. One of those crazy Christmas-type games, right? Near Christmas games, and you could tell the weather was impacting everybody. You even had Patrick Mahomes out there looking like a mere mortal. Let that go. Let that sink in right there. But this play was weird, and they never went back to it. You have a smash concept going. You got Laquan Treadwell here on an in-break and white. You have a fade by Marquise Goodwin. For some odd reason, there was a complete miscommunication. Not sure what Goodwin was doing, but he fades this and then shoots it to the sideline like it's an out route. Now, I don't believe Geno should have thrown this right. Geno's trying to make a play here. But the miscommunication is the factor to me, because had Goodwin continuing to run, at least he could have made a play on ball. It could have been an even exchange situation. Maybe he goes up and gets it, although he's a smaller cat. But you just never know. But you got to tell me what you think went wrong here. They didn't go back to it or really even mention it. Look at this. You see it right there? Marquise Goodwin, we know he can run. If you're going to run a fade route, he's the guy to run it to. But he snaps it off. Look at this. He snaps it off. If he continues to run, you don't know what could happen, but not continuing to run and snapping it off like it's a extended out route makes no sense. Who would design a play for it to go this deep and then go to the out? I'm not sure right there, right? You're on a numbers grip with it, and then you shoot it to that deep to the sideline? No, I'm sorry, man. I'm going to have to hear what's going on. You guys let me know if you hear them talk about that in the post game or whatever like that. That was crazy to me. I do not understand that, man. That was a death blow right there, amongst other things. Once again, you see stuff that is apparent, that is a legitimate need, right? Need through the draft and through free agency. The interior run game sucked. The pass protection once again sucked. And of course, you had plays that were big plays, of course, which you got to expect by Kansas City. For the most part, I felt like the defense played pretty well, but it was one of those games for a defense to play well because of the conditions for the offense, right? This was a dome game or something like that. They probably beat up on Seattle a little bit better, however, but hey, both teams are playing in the same conditions, so got to make some of them plays. But this one right here was crazy to me. Talking about somebody for the future, you have to love the prospects of one Noah Fant. Looks like he's completely taken over that number one tight end slot from a cat like Will Dissly. And you can see him and Geno right here on the mirror. Geno doing a good job right here, cycling through his progressions. And look at Fant immediately recognize that while Geno tries to eat at Geno's in the end zone. Jakob, that was a hell of a play right there, being on the same accord. You notice Geno, right, there was a time earlier in the game where he threw it to Marquise Goodwin. He could have obviously ran for the first down, and they didn't convert there. He doesn't really make the same mistake twice. Like if you notice the rest of the game, he started detaching, and he was looking to run, but he's risk averse. That's why I say he plays a safe brand of football to where he'll be good if his offensive line doesn't get him crushed like it was getting him crushed in the game here. For a number of years, but you definitely want to have a cat like Noah Fant on your team. He looks like he could be a number one receiver, just like or a number one tight end / receiver, just like everyone thought when he was coming out of Iowa in that first round. All right, here we go again with a late edition. Guess what? Once again, the first fucking comment coming up out of the game on the previous drawing has to be about Geno Smith. This cat right here, Zach Jones. I don't know. These last few weeks, Geno been trash. Not trying to eat there, Cletus. Geno has been trash. So this was the first fucking thing coming up out of this whack-ass game that you thought about was Geno Smith. Nothing about the actual core fabric of football. Nothing about poor pass protection, right? Well, this man's dropping back each time. I'm like, yo, he's screwed. They got to drop back. And this was coming from all directions, too. Up the gut, off the right side, whatever like that. He was screwed when they dropped back, no doubt about that. They couldn't run the ball, but like really on the edges. No push up front, right? When they needed it and everything. You're playing with freaking Goodwin and Treadwell and Derek Young going against the Kansas City Chiefs on the road, and it's Geno's fault. out, Sway. Man, get the fuck out of here with this shit. I'm telling you, man. I mean, I'm seriously about done with this Seattle bullshit. Like I said before, a vocal minority majority, right? They're like the loudest people. I hate bad fan bases. If you have a bad pocket of fans in your fan base, I'm sorry. To me, it reflects your fan base. This dude reflects your fan base to me. He does not know. Geno has been trashed the past few weeks. Really. Those big plays, right? They couldn't barely really do anything with the cold weather, but they could generate some big plays against Seattle. Lack of tackling, right? They were missing tackles like you wouldn't believe in this game, right? Faulty assignments. Jordan Brooks right there on a pass off to Travis Kelce. He ducks and peeks inside again and then has to turn and try to run with Travis Kelce. Big play right there. Mahomes not doing anything really, right? He throwing 5-yard touchdowns. He threw a tap pass for a touchdown. Wasn't even a throw. You know what I'm saying? But they're finding ways to win because they have a better line of scrimmage play. Chris Jones out there absolutely bench pressing and prison loving Blythe and whoever he lines up across from, man. Come on, stop the madness. Man, which game did this clown watch? Look at Patrick Mahomes. He was 16 out of 28 for 224 yards. Does that seem like a Patrick Mahomes game? That Mama Jama be throwing for like 450 yards and 4 touchdowns and everything. It ain't because of Seattle's defense. That was the weather that was getting to Patrick Mahomes, buddy. That's not a passing game. So you're not worrying about the line of scrimmage. Shows what type of football fan you are, and it shows that you never put on pads that didn't say play text on them. Come on, man. What are we doing here? You can't be serious. Like, look at this. This man, at least he get to throw to Travis Kelce and Juju Smith-Schuster, Kadarius Toney, all these first-round draft picks and stuff. Jerick McKinnon, explosive as all get out. This Pacheco cat, explosive. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Did you see the offensive line in the time that Mahomes was getting compared to compared to what Geno Smith was getting? That's football. It's not always about the quarterback. Most of the time, man, the quarterback is pretty much the sum, right? He pretty much is the sum. Like everything added up right there, that equals what the quarterback's going to have. If everything around him is good, more than likely he's going to be good. You can see that right there from Patrick Mahomes. That wasn't a great Patrick Mahomes game. Like I said before, that was the weather really impacting this particular game here. And then, of course, you can see the separation in talent, especially along the line of scrimmage. Look at the havoc Chris Jones was causing, man. Moms used to tell me back in the day, however you start out a situation is usually how it's going to end up, if you get what I'm saying there. On this one, check this out. You're going to have 2 Ole Miss boys right here, Laquan Treadwell and, of course, Dennis Rodman Jr. himself, DK Metcalf. Metcalf clearing it out for Laquan Treadwell to run this out route. Now, Laquan wants to keep this vertical, snap it off at a sharp angle, present, just like in the last one I showed you guys that Marquise Goodwin did. He's a guy who can get in and out of his transitions very well. Laquan Treadwell, that's not his game. All right, that's never been his game. He's very much like a DK Metcalf, where they round these routes off, and then that usually spells trouble if you're trying to convert on a 4th down. Check this out. Extremely rounded. Oh, my God. That was even worse than I thought it was. Check this out. Pushing this vertical right here. Can't stick that foot in the ground. Listen, he undersells this route, stops it way too soon to take his transition just because he's trying to worry too much about the transition, rounds it off past the numbers, which is going to obviously cause Geno to have to throw this a little bit differently than it would be to complete it, and nothing to it but to do it. What are we doing, man? Check this out right here on this one, right? You can see right here, pushing it vertical. Now, why would you start right here? I'm confused by this. Why would you start your transitional stem right there that far from the sticks? You see where the stick is? That doesn't make sense. You're going to round off past the stick? No, you need to be past the stick and then go flat down the stick at the very least, and don't let the momentum carry you there. But just little things like this, man, that's what keeps teams out of the playoffs, and that's what takes teams from being kind of a playoff teetering team to being a legit contender, which Seattle can definitely be next year with some tweaks in personnel. Did this goofball not see this particular throw right here? You talking about Geno? Look at this. Oh my goodness. Right before the safety could get there to your man DK Metcalf on the vert right here. Listen, this is a low probability throw right here. You talking about not much separation at all, first and foremost. And then you have a safety coming over to help as well. Look at that, man. Look at the product placement. Oh! Let's see it from this angle right here. DK get a little bit of a step on him right there. When you can get him in that hip pocket and you got a guy like Geno who can place it where it needs to be, his ability to steer is, what do we have there? Oh, okay. I see you, I see you, DK, right? But listen, that man's ability to steer and his ability to get it exactly where it needs to be, come on. This is the shit you talk about right here, right? You talking about going vert. Fuck out of here, man. And what happens, right? You wanna talk about a miscommunication and call somebody garbage and not talk about the line of scrimmage play and everything. But what happens if on a perfectly thrown pass right here to DK, if he simply taps the feet? Right? There was no reason to jump or anything like that. You can see he barely jumped up. I'm not sure if he spooked himself, trying to protect himself or something like that. But come on, man. You got to get that other foot down. DK in the end zone with Geno, man, that's a super work in progress. They're going to need to work over the offseason with that if he's back, right? You know what I'm saying? With these cats talking that trash, I'm starting to champion and that man getting the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Headed back somewhere else. Go get you some better pass protection, some better fans or something like that because, come on, this is the first guy you think of after every fucking loss on a fucking reload year? With a weak-ass team that you guys said was going to win like 2 or 3 games. Think about this. Before the season started, all you guys were crying. I did a content item that said the Seahawks nailed the offseason. I felt like they did great in the draft. I felt like they did great because everybody was talking about they couldn't re-sign DK to a longer-term deal. Then they did that. You know what I'm saying? I can only go by what you guys say. So I was like, all right, well, then they're going to lose DK Metcalf or whatever like that. They re-signed him. They got Nwosu. I was like, oh, that's a hell of a under the radar. Everything that I said literally hit. Think about that. And you guys said they were going to go like 3-14 or whatever it is now. Come on, man. They guys got you competitive to where you guys are having some meaningful games late in the year, and that's all you want as a fan base at the very least, right? And Geno's not a part of that. He's the reason. Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, I know people be talking about this one right here now. Like I mentioned it before, this was not a good play on his part right there. But this is a catchable ball, man. It's the NFL. You know what I mean? Think about some of your top-notch receivers. They're not going to catch a pass like this. It ain't right in his hands. Justin Jefferson makes that catch 9 out of 10 times. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. He almost got that bad boy like he hurt himself or whatever like that. But, hey, that's Geno Smith right there. He's a ball distributor. He wants to keep his players happy. A lot of these guys, Justin Fields, take off and run and all this and that. That's good for him. That doesn't reflect for his teammates. His receiver's not going to make a Pro Bowl with him running. You know what I'm saying? So his first instinct is to distribute the ball to his people, keep everybody happy. You see him targeting DK ad nauseum. DK wants to be one of them, thought of one of those guys like a Justin Jefferson and A.J. Brown and all these guys. He getting the targets from Geno Smith. And, you know what I'm saying? You should laud stuff like this now. This was a bad play, but you could tell that he rectified that the rest of the game because he started to detach in these type of situations. But that's not a catchable ball. It's right in his hands. Bad pass, no doubt about that, but it's right in his hands, and it's the NFL. Not everything is going to be perfect. He's a professional athlete as well. Good one. I mean, no mention of this joint right here, stuff like this. Look, your man Lucas stops his feet. Geno's just on the drop. Look at the waters, man. People getting straight up bench pressed into the lap of the quarterback. The pocket continuously moving there. Lucas stops his feet. Nowhere for Geno to go right there. Got to see Lucas right here. Instead of continuing on his track right there, getting his shuffle on, he stops and lunges. You reach, I'll teach you. Look at it. Way too far over his skis right there. I'm not sure what happened to him. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to come here with some type of excuse or whatever like that, but he was not out there at certain portions of the game, I saw Stone feet Forsyth out there in his place. So I'm sure somebody will let me know what happened to him. And I'm kind of aggravated. I feel like Geno doesn't get calls that he should get. Like this one right here on his former teammate, Carlos Dunlap. Listen, Geno, once again, having the flush from the pocket right here, clearly gets rid of the ball. It's not like Dunlap can't see he got rid of the ball. All right, he just probably want to get a little bit of Seattle frustration out right there from them not re-signing him, and then pushes him. Like, how you do that right in front of the ref and that doesn't get called? Look at Geno right there. He's splatter whack, right? Splaka tire. Geno sleep. Even this joint right here, man, right? I'm not sure about being blocked into him. It looks like my man straight dove into him. He's not being blocked into him. Dove into the back of his knees right there. Geno doesn't even get that type of call. That couldn't happen to Tom Brady, right? It couldn't happen to some of these guys who, I guess you can say, earned it, or they have that type of reputation or whatever like that. But they need to start calling that shit even. That's bad. That's damn near career threatening from Chris Jones. Man, you know what I was going to call it, man? That's a wrap right there, man. I'm about done with this bullshit anyway, man. I'm tired of having to talk about this. We talk about this till we blue in the face. Some people, you're just never going to be able to get to them and tell them exactly what football is like, and to tell them to stop worrying about the damn quarterback. So I'm tired of it, man. It might just be time to move on straight up, all right? But to everybody out there, man, salute. It's your boy Mid-Atlantic Murf. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays. Stay safe out there. Strike the band.
What more can I say?
Top Billin.